Last time on Say Less, I Love You.
Something's wrong with the Neuromax trials.
Right now, people are dying, and all roads lead back to you.
Would Grandpa be hooked up to these machines if it wasn't for my actions?
Nyla, darling, the champagne flutes need polishing.
I heard about what happened with Kevin. There must be something we can do.
Focus on your wedding. You've got enough to think about.
Time to face the music.
Trixa's vanished without a trace, leaving me standing here like a fool in front of New York's finest. And I have absolutely no idea why.
Nyla Thomas thought she was getting a simple fake marriage.
Marry me and I'll pay for your grandfather's treatment.
It's just business, right?
Right.
But little did she know the viper's nest she was coming into.
You may try to better yourself, Nyla, but you will never catch up to your betters.
I make the rules, Nyla. You follow them.
They beat her down, took her dignity. What they never expected was
that she would fight back.
Find out what happens when you push a woman too far.
Chapter 1, 194. Nyla. I stand frozen in the pews, watching the chaos unfold. The magnificent cathedral, with its soaring arches and stained glass windows, now feels like a stage for some surreal drama. Hilda's voice, usually so commanding, trembles slightly as she addresses the bewildered crowd. Due to unexpected health concerns, we must postpone today's ceremony, she announces, her hands clasped tightly together. We appreciate your understanding and rest assured, we will announce a new date shortly. The whispers start immediately, a rising tide of speculation washing through the church. I catch fragments of conversations, cancer, cold feet, scandal. As the guests begin to file out, their designer outfits rustling against the wooden pews. Jacob stands at the altar, looking lost and smaller somehow without Trixa beside him. His bow tie is slightly crooked, and I resist the urge to straighten it. Nyla. His voice cuts through the murmurs as he rushes toward me, nearly tripping over his own feet. Did you see anything? When you were with her earlier? I shake my head, remembering our strange interaction. She seemed off. But I thought it was just wedding jitters. Off how? His eyes search mine desperately. I don't know, I think she saw someone. I didn't see who, I say quietly. Jacob! Hilda's sharp voice interrupts us. She's maintaining her composure, but I can see the cracks in her perfect facade. Her hands shake as she clutches her designer clutch. We need to handle this situation immediately. But Jacob ignores her, his attention focused entirely on me. What else? Tell me everything. The desperation in his voice makes my heart ache. Here we are, in this massive church filled with flowers that cost more than my yearly salary, and the bride has vanished like smoke. I think? I start, but Hilda cuts me off again. Jacob, now, she demands, her voice echoing off the cathedral walls. I stand awkwardly to the side as Jacob and Hilda huddle near the altar, their hushed voices carrying through the now empty church. Hilda's eyes keep darting to me, filled with barely contained venom. She must have something to do with this, Hilda hisses, not even trying to lower her voice. Always plotting, always scheming. Mother, stop, Jacob says, running a hand through his hair. This isn't helping. Well, what do you suggest we do? You've been made a laughingstock in front of the entire city. Stop! Julia's voice rings out as she bursts through the side door, waving a cream-colored envelope. I found this in the bridal suite. Jacob snatches the letter, his hands trembling as he breaks the seal. The paper rustles in the silence. Dear Jacob, he reads, his voice catching. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. The cancer, it's spread. The doctors gave me weeks, maybe a month. I couldn't bear to trap you in a marriage that would end before it began. My heart clenches as Jacob's voice breaks. He takes a shaky breath before continuing. There's something else you should know. Nyla isn't just some nurse who came into our lives by chance. She's my sister. We share the same father. I've known since she donated her bone marrow. I couldn't let you marry me knowing your heart belongs with her. It always has. Hilda gasps, her hand flying to her throat. Jacob's eyes find mine across the space between us, filled with questions and something else. Hope, maybe? Be happy, both of you. Jacob reads the final lines. You deserve it. Love, Trixa. The letter falls from Jacob's hands, floating to the floor like a fallen leaf. The silence in the cathedral is deafening as we all absorb Trixa's words. I stand frozen as Hilda's voice rises through the cathedral, her hands gesturing wildly. This is preposterous. We have 300 guests at the plaza, waiting for... Mother, stop. Jacob's voice cuts through her protest like a knife. His eyes find mine across the room, intense and unwavering. I don't care about the guests or the plaza or any of it. Jacob, you can't possibly... Hilda starts again, but Jacob steps away from the altar, moving toward me with determined strides. I love her, he declares, his voice echoing off the vaulted ceiling. I've always loved her, even when I tried to deny it, even when I convinced myself I could make it work with Trixa. My heart pounds against my ribs as he approaches. The morning light streams through the stained glass windows, casting colorful shadows across his face. I love you, Nyla Thomas, he says, taking my hands in his. Through all the schemes, the lies, the misunderstandings, it's always been you. Tears blur my vision as I look up at him. I love you too, I whisper, my voice catching. God help me, I've tried not to. But I can't stop loving you, Jacob Stone. This is absolutely... Hilda begins, but Julia grabs her arm. Mom, Julia says firmly, look at them. I barely register Hilda's silence as Jacob's thumb wipes away a tear from my cheek. The touch sends electricity through my skin just like it always has. We've wasted so much time, he murmurs. Then let's not waste any more, I reply, squeezing his hands. Jacob's lips find mine, and the world dissolves into a kaleidoscope of sensations. The kiss is different from our previous ones. No more hiding, no more guilt, no more pretense. His hands cup my face with a tenderness that makes my heart ache. I can't believe this is real, I whisper against his mouth. He pulls back slightly, his thumbs tracing my cheekbones. Believe it. No more running, no more games. I wind my arms around his neck, drinking in the warmth of his body against mine. The expensive fabric of his tuxedo feels smooth under my fingertips. Your mother is going to have an aneurysm. Let her, he murmurs, pulling me closer. I'm done living for everyone else. His lips capture mine again, and I melt into him. The kiss deepens, becoming something primal and desperate. Years of longing, of denial, of watching each other from afar. It all pours into this moment. Get a room, you two, Julia calls out, but I can hear the smile in her voice. I break away, laughing softly. We're in a church. God's house or not, I'm not watching this display, Hilda announces, her heels clicking sharply as she strides toward the exit. Jacob's arms tighten around me. Thank you, Trixa, he whispers, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. I nod, my own eyes welling up. She gave us an incredible gift. His forehead rests against mine, our breaths mingling. No more wasted time, he promises. No more wasted time, I agree, pulling him down for another kiss. Chapter 1, 195. Nyla. The elevator doors slide open to reveal the plaza's honeymoon suite. Jacob hesitates in the doorway, his hand gripping mine. "Is this weird?" he asks, taking in the trail of rose petals leading to the king-sized bed. "I mean, this was all set up for Trixa." I finish, squeezing his hand. "Yeah, it's a little weird." Candlelight flickers across the walls, casting dancing shadows. The champagne sits in an ice bucket, perfectly chilled, everything exactly as it was meant to be for a different bride. "We don't have to stay," Jacob says softly. "We could go somewhere else." I turn to face him, reaching up to straighten his bow tie. "No, I think we should stay. Trixa arranged all this." I gesture to the romantic setup. And knowing her, she'd want us to have it. "You think so?" His eyes search mine, still uncertain. "I do. It's like her letter said. She wants us to be happy." I step further into the room, pulling him with me. Consider it another gift from her. Jacob's thumb traces circles on my palm. "When did you get so wise?" "Probably around the same time you stopped being an insufferable playboy," I tease, earning a laugh that breaks the tension. "Hey now," he protests, tugging me closer. "I was never that bad." The tabloids would disagree. I wrap my arms around his neck, breathing in his familiar scent. "But I fell for you anyway." His forehead rests against mine. Lucky me. The champagne bubbles in its bucket, and somewhere in the distance, New York City hums with life. But here in this room, with rose petals scattered at our feet and candlelight warming our skin, the world narrows to just us. "Lucky us," I whisper, and pull him down for a kiss. The air crackles with a raw energy as Jacob's lips meet mine. It's as if a dam has burst, unleashing years of unspoken desire. Our bodies entwined in a desperate embrace, we kiss with a fervor that speaks of longing and promises made in the quiet corners of our heart. "Nyla." Jacob breathes my name against my lips like a prayer, his hands roaming over the contours of my body, as if he's committing them to memory. I can't help but giggle softly, even as my hands tug at his hair. "You're not getting rid of me that easily," I say, a playful edge to my voice. His responding chuckle is low and throaty, a sound that resonates deep within me. "I don't want to get rid of you," he murmurs, his lips trailing along my jawline. "I want to keep you forever." Our clothes seem to melt away, barriers we no longer need. Each touch, each kiss, is a reaffirmation of our bond, a defiance of the forces that have tried to keep us apart. "Jacob," I whisper, my voice laced with urgency and need. "I need you. Now." In response, he claims my mouth in another searing kiss, his hands exploring with an urgency that matches my own. I hate to put a stop to a good time, but it looks like we've hit this platform's limit for spiciness.
This platform's got some rules we have to play by if we want to keep giving you these stories for free.
And trust me, this scene isn't something you want to miss.
While we can't get into all the details here, you can still dive into the full, uncut version at TylaWalker.com.
Miss Tyla has an entire collection of unabridged audiobooks and ebooks waiting for you.
And the best part? You can treat yourself with 40% off when you use the code SAVE40.
That's right. You'll save on any digital product, even bundles that are already discounted.
Miss Tyla would never let anyone feel the kind of disappointment you must be feeling right now.
So why wait? Treat yourself with Miss Tyla. As we lay there, spent and sated, the room is filled with the soft sounds of our mingled breaths. The sun has long since set, plunging the room into a twilight that mirrors the peaceful contentment that settles over us. Jacob's arms envelop me. a safe haven in a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain. In the quiet that follows, I realize that this is just the beginning for us. A new chapter that's ours to write, free from the shadows of our past. With Jacob by my side, I know that whatever challenges may come, we will face them together. And in the end, it's that sense of unity, of shared purpose and unwavering support that fills me with a hope and excitement for the future. "I love you, Nyla," Jacob whispers, his voice thick with emotion. I turn to face him, a smile playing on my lips. "I love you too, Jacob. Always." And in the stillness of the room, with the echoes of our passion still lingering in the air, I know that we finally found our way home to each other.
Chapter 1, 196. Jacob. I open my eyes to find sunlight streaming through the plaza's windows, painting golden patterns across Nyla's sleeping form. Her head rests on my chest, her curls spilling across my skin like silk. The events of yesterday flood back, the almost wedding, Trixa's letter, and finally being with the woman I truly love. "Morning," Nyla murmurs, stirring against me. Her eyes flutter open, a soft smile playing on her lips. "Hey there," I whisper, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Sleep well?" She props herself up on an elbow, looking at me with those mesmerizing dark eyes. Better than I have in months. Me too. I pull her closer, reveling in how perfectly she fits against me. You know what this means, right? That we've scandalized half of New York society? She grins, tracing patterns on my chest. Besides that, I catch her hand, bringing it to my lips. It means we're finally free. No more sneaking around, no more pretending. Let her try. I trace my fingers along her spine. I'm done letting her control my life. Done pretending to be someone I'm not. It's not just Hilda, though. Nyla sits up, pulling the sheet around her. My parents still hate your family. They'll never accept us being together. Then they'll have to learn to live with it. I cup her face in my hands. Look, I've wasted too much time trying to please everyone else. My mother, the board, society. I'm tired of it. But your hospital will survive. I press my forehead against hers. The board can threaten all they want, but they need me. And if they don't like us being together, they can find themselves another CEO. Nyla pulls back, her eyes wide. You'd give up everything? Just like that? For you? In a heartbeat. I brush my thumb across her cheek. We've danced around this for too long, Nyla. Playing games, hurting each other, letting other people come between us. I'm done with all of it. Your mother will never forgive you. Then she won't forgive me. I shrug, but I'd rather have you than her approval any day. A small smile tugs at her lips. When did you get so romantic? Probably around the time I realized I was in love with the most stubborn, beautiful, incredible woman I've ever met. Nyla's expression turns thoughtful. What are you suggesting, Mr. Stone? Let's get married. Today. Just us. The words tumble out before I can second-guess them. We could fly to Vegas or the Caribbean. Elope? She sits up, the sheet pooling around her waist. Are you serious? Dead serious. I prop myself up on my elbows. I've wasted enough time not being with you. What do you say? Her face breaks into a radiant smile. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Yeah? My heart soars as I pull her into my arms. Yeah, she laughs against my lips. Let's do it. Let's run away together. We lie there making plans, our voices hushed with excitement like children plotting an adventure. The morning light bathes us in warmth, promising a fresh start, a new chapter written entirely on our own terms. The soft chime of Nyla's phone breaks through our peaceful morning. Her body tenses against mine as she reads the message. It's Kyra, she says, sitting up and wrapping the sheet around herself. She needs to see me right away. I trace my fingers along her spine. Everything okay? I run my fingers through her hair, still messy from our night together. Your grandfather? Maybe. Or it could be about Neuromax. She bites her lip. She's been looking into what went wrong with the trials. We could ignore it, I suggest, though I know she won't. Just get on a plane and deal with everything later. Nyla shakes her head, her curls brushing against my chest. I can't. If something's happened to Grandpa... She trails off, her eyes clouding with worry. And if Kyra's found something about Neuromax, we need to know. Hey. I tilt her chin up, making her look at me. Go. I'll start making arrangements for our getaway. You're sure? Her fingers trace patterns on my skin. I'll just be a few hours, then we can leave, I promise. I'm not going anywhere. I pull her close for a kiss. Well, technically I am, but with you. She laughs against my lips. That was terrible. Made you smile, though. I reach for my phone. I'll call my pilot, have him ready the jet for later today. I watch her dress, already missing her warmth. Want me to come with you? She turns to face me, her eyes filled with concern. I need to do this alone, Jacob. I have to explain everything to her, about us, about Trixa, about all of it. I get it. I cup her face in my hands. Family first. I won't be long, she promises, pressing her forehead against mine. Just wait for me. I'd wait forever. The words come easily because they're true, but preferably not that long. She laughs softly. A few hours tops. Then we can pick up where we left off with that Vegas plan. I'll have the jet ready. I kiss her temple. Go. Deal with what you need to deal with. Nyla slides out of bed, gathering her clothes. I watch her get dressed, already missing her warmth. Jacob? She pauses at the door. Yeah? Thank you for understanding. Always. I smile. Now go before I change my mind and kidnap you. She blows me a kiss and slips out, leaving me alone with the morning sun and the lingering scent of her perfume on my pillow. You think you can catch me? You think you can tame me?
Oh, I know I can. And you know it too, baby.
I gotta tell you, you're not the first to try.
But don't worry, baby. I'll be the last.
With sass like that, maybe I'll be the one that needs to tame you.
Let's cut to the chase, big boy. What you selling me?
Your appetite is big AF. I have just the thing that'll satisfy you.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Over 120 hours of romance audiobooks. Brought to you by Tyla Walker Romances in the Big AF Audio Bundle.
120 hours? That sounds amazing.
Your knees won't work afterwards if I do my job right.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Well, I can keep this promise. Because these audiobooks are unabridged with all the spicy scenes that will make you put your earbuds on. You know, Tyla can get freaky because she marked the bundle down by 69% for a limited time.
I can't wait to take this bundle for a ride.
Visit TylaWalker.com and get this audio bundle. Just don't start listening if you're going to be cooking dinner. Because you might just forget to feed your family.
TylaWalker.com. Escape your life with Tyla. Chapter 197. Nyla. I rushed to meet Kyra at her Columbia University office, my heart still soaring from the events of the past day. The familiar academic halls feel different somehow, lighter, as if they're sharing in my joy. You're never going to believe what happened, I burst out as soon as I enter her office. The wedding, it's off. Trixa left Jacob at the altar. She knew about us being sisters this whole time, and she gave us her blessing. Kyra looks up from her computer, her expression a mix of happiness and something else I can't quite read. That's wonderful news, honey. I'm truly happy for you. And Jacob and I were finally together. Really together. I can't help the smile spreading across my face. It feels like everything's falling into place. About that, Kyra's tone shifts, becoming more serious. She closes her laptop and leans forward. There's something important we need to discuss. My excitement dims slightly. What is it? It's about Neuromax. She pulls out a folder filled with data sheets. I still have contacts at the manufacturing facility, and they've been sending me reports. The formula? There are concerning irregularities. My stomach drops. What kind of irregularities? The chemical composition isn't matching the original specifications. These changes. She points to several highlighted sections. They could be causing the adverse reactions we're seeing in patients. Like my grandfather's seizures? My voice catches. Exactly. Kyra's eyes meet mine. Someone has been deliberately altering the formula, Nyla. And the effects could be catastrophic. I sink into the chair across from her desk. But why? Who would do this? That's what we need to find out. She reaches across and squeezes my hand. And quickly, before more patients are harmed. I take a deep breath, processing Kyra's revelations about the Neuromax formula. My fingers trace the data sheets, trying to make sense of the complex chemical notations. We need to be careful about this, I say, looking up at her. There are patients' lives at stake. We can't just start throwing around accusations without concrete proof. Kyra nods, fidgeting with her pen. There's something else, Nyla. Something I've been hesitant to share. What is it? She stands up and walks to her office window, her reflection wavering in the glass. I've been receiving anonymous messages, photos, coordinates, cryptic notes. At first I thought it was just someone playing games, but... She turns back to face me. I think Marcus is alive. My heart skips a beat. You too? The timing's too perfect to be coincidence, Kyra says, returning to her desk. These messages started arriving right when the Neuromax problems began. If anyone knows what's really happening with the formula, it would be Marcus. But why would he fake his death, hide all this time? That's what we need to find out. Kyra pulls out her phone, showing me a blurry photo. This came yesterday. It's not much, but... I lean in closer, studying the grainy image of a man entering what looks like the warehouse. Though his face isn't clear, something about his stance, his walk, seems hauntingly familiar. If it really is him, I say slowly. Finding Marcus could be the key to understanding what's gone wrong with Neuromax. I pace Kyra's office, my mind racing. My father? Marcus? He's actually alive. All this time? My hands shake as I stare at the grainy warehouse photo. We have to find him. Nyla, wait. Kyra reaches for my arm. We need to think this through. If Marcus is alive and at that warehouse, there's a reason he's hiding. What if he's not hiding? What if those people Jacob's mixed up with are keeping him there against his will? The thought makes my stomach turn. That Alexander guy gives me the creeps. Kyra's brow furrows. Alexander? Some shady character who's always around Jacob lately. Something about him feels dangerous. I grab my purse. I need to go check out that warehouse. Are you insane? Kyra blocks the door. We can't just waltz in there and the police. The police aren't an option. I cut her off. Not with everything else going on. Besides, if Marcus is really there, calling the cops could put him in more danger. Then at least let me come with you, Kyra pleads. No. I shake my head firmly. I need you to stay here. Keep digging into those Neuromax reports. If something happens, I swallow hard. Someone needs to know where I went. Nyla, Kyra grabs my shoulders, her eyes intense. Promise me you'll be careful. No heroics, just reconnaissance. If you see anything suspicious, I'll call you immediately, I assure her. I need to know if it's really him, after thinking he was dead all this time. Kyra pulls me into a tight hug. I understand. But please, be smart about this. We can't lose you too. I nod against her shoulder, trying to quell the fear and excitement battling in my chest. My father might be alive, and I'm going to find him. What about Jacob? Kyra asks, her voice soft with concern. You just found each other again? I pause at her office door, my hand resting on the handle. Jacob will understand. He'll be there when I get back. Are you sure? After everything you've been through, to be together. That's exactly why I have to do this. I turn to face her. Jacob and I finally have a chance at real happiness. But how can I fully embrace that if I'm haunted by questions about Marcus? About what's happening with Neuromax? Kyra steps closer, her eyes searching mine. You could at least tell him where you're going. No. I shake my head firmly. Jacob's too close to Alexander, to whatever's happening at that warehouse. I need to figure this out on my own first. And if something goes wrong, then you'll know where to look. I give her a tight smile. Besides, Jacob's probably still dealing with the fallout from the wedding. This gives him time to handle that mess while I handle this one. You're not going to change your mind about this, are you? Not a chance. I pull her into another quick hug. I promise I'll be careful, but I need to know the truth about Marcus, about everything. Kyra sighs against my shoulder. Just come back safe. Both Jacob and I need you in one piece. I will. I squeeze her hand. Some things are worth the risk. Chapter 1. 198. Nyla. I pull my car into a darkened side street near the warehouse, killing the engine. My heart pounds against my ribs as I check my phone one last time. No messages from Jacob. Good. He doesn't know I'm here. The warehouse looms ahead, a hulking shadow against the night sky. Security seems minimal, just a chain-link fence with a rusty padlock. After years of nursing, I've learned a thing or two about getting into locked places. The fence gives way easily to my bolt cutters. Sorry about the breaking and entering, Dad, I whisper, thinking of Marcus, but we need answers. My flashlight beam cuts through the darkness as I slip inside. The warehouse interior is a maze of shelving units and mysterious equipment. Everything smells like chemicals and dust. Now, if I were hiding someone, where would I keep them? I mutter, scanning the space. A section of the floor looks recently disturbed, with scuff marks leading toward the back. Following the trail, I discover a door hidden behind some crates. It's unlocked. Beyond lies a narrow hallway with several rooms branching off. The first room contains filing cabinets. I rifle through them quickly, finding nothing but shipping manifests. The second room holds lab equipment, beakers, burners, measuring tools. In the third room, I hit pay dirt. Spread across a desk are papers covered in chemical formulas. My breath catches as I recognize Marcus's distinctive handwriting. What were you working on? I whisper, leaning closer to examine the equations. A sudden crash echoes through the warehouse, making me jump. My flashlight beam jerks wildly across the walls as heavy footsteps approach. I dive behind the desk, heart hammering. The footsteps grow closer, accompanied by voices. I press myself flat against the floor, praying I won't be discovered as the door creaks open. The beam of my flashlight catches Kevin's face, his features twisted in a dark scowl. My heart leaps into my throat as I stumble backward, knocking over a stack of papers. What the hell are you doing here, Nyla? Kevin's voice cuts through the darkness like a blade. I could ask you the same thing. I try to keep my voice steady, but fear makes it waver. This isn't exactly your usual hangout. He steps closer, his expensive suit incongruous in the grimy warehouse. You have no idea what you're messing with. Did Jacob send you? Nobody sent me. I'm here because... Heavy footsteps echo from the hallway, cutting me off. My eyes dart to the door, but Kevin blocks my path. Guards, he says with a cold smile. They're not as understanding as I am about trespassers. Kevin, please. I reach for his arm, but he jerks away. People are getting sick from Neuromax. That's the least of your concerns right now. He grabs my wrist, his grip painfully tight. You really should have stayed in your lane playing nurse. The footsteps grow louder. I twist in Kevin's grasp, but he holds firm. Let me go, I hiss. Whatever you're involved in. You think you can waltz in here and play detective? His laugh is hollow. You're way out of your depth, sweetheart. The beam of another flashlight sweeps past the doorway. I'm trapped, with Kevin's iron grip on one side and approaching guards on the other. My pulse pounds in my ears as I realize my impulsive plan has completely backfired. Got an intruder here? Kevin calls out, his voice echoing through the warehouse. Better call security. Fine. I hand him my wrists. You got me? Kevin smiles as he ties my wrists. Good girl. I yelp in pain as he ties the knots a little too tight. My mind races, calculating possible escape routes, but the sound of guards' footsteps behind us makes it clear I'm not going anywhere. You're making a huge mistake, I say, trying to keep my voice level. People are dying from whatever you're doing to Neuromax. Funny how you suddenly care about people dying. He doesn't look at me as we walk. Weren't you just celebrating your newfound wealth a few weeks ago? That was different. I didn't know. You didn't want to know. He cuts me off. Just like you didn't want to know where all that money really came from. What happened to you, Kevin? The caring lawyer who wanted to help people? He laughs, but there's no warmth in it. That was a good act, wasn't it? Almost as good as your devoted girlfriend routine. This isn't about us, I press. What are you doing with the Neuromax formula? Why are patients getting worse? Kevin adjusts his tie, smoothing out invisible wrinkles. You know what your problem is, Nyla? You ask too many questions. And you're dodging all of them. Shut up. He yanks me closer, his expensive cologne mixing with the warehouse's chemical smell. You always did talk too much. Really? Because I remember you loving my mouth for other reasons. I feel his grip tighten at that. Good. An angry Kevin might be a careless one. He yanks open a heavy metal door. What are you even doing here, Nyla? I'm looking for Marcus Swan, I say, watching his face for any reaction. You remember him, right? The man whose money you helped steal from me? Kevin shoves me into what looks like an old office, now stripped bare except for a metal chair. Marcus Swan died of a heart attack. I was there. I saw the body. Right, because you're so trustworthy. I rub my arm where his fingers left marks. Like when you convinced me to sign over power of attorney while I was drunk. You wouldn't understand. His jaw tightens. This is bigger than your petty grievances about money. Try me. Explain why my grandfather and other patients are suddenly getting worse on Neuromax. Your grandfather? He lets out a harsh laugh. You should be more worried about yourself right now. What's that supposed to mean? Kevin moves to the doorway. It means you stuck your nose where it doesn't belong. And trust me, there will be consequences. Kevin, wait! The door slams shut with a metallic clang. I hear the lock engage from the outside, leaving me alone in the dimly lit room. Damn it. I mutter, already scanning for another way out. But the windows are covered with metal grates, and the ventilation shaft is too small to crawl through. I'm trapped, with only my racing thoughts and the echo of Kevin's warning about consequences. I thought I was getting a fake marriage, but I didn't know my story was being told by Miss Tyla.
This isn't just any fake marriage, now is it?
No, you introduced me to the devil.
Come on, girl, Jacob isn't that bad.
Oh, I love Jacob. His family, on the other hand?
Beggars can't be choosers, Nyla. You should be grateful I even let Jacob Stone look your way.
I just wanted to save my granddaddy. Is that so bad? Why couldn't you let this be a normal fake marriage? Instead, you put me in a twisty story filled with money, betrayal, power, and lies.
Let's not forget love.
That's what keeps me going. But not gonna lie, Miss Tyla. This story you got me in ain't the simple fake marriage, happy ending I thought it would be.
It's not. Because where would be the fun in that?
Treat yourself to Say Less I Love You. Tuesdays and Thursdays. New seasons premiere every month. Or skip the wait and grab the full series bundle from TylaWalker.com. Treat yourself with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 1, 199. Jacob. I zip up my suitcase, heart racing with anticipation. Finally, Nyla and I can start fresh, away from all this madness. The penthouse feels lighter already, like the weight of secrets and lies is lifting. A sharp knock at the door interrupts my reverie. Coming. I expect to see Nyla's beautiful face, but instead find Alexander's imposing frame filling my doorway. "We need to talk," he says, his usually smooth voice tight with tension. I'm kind of in the middle of something. A gesture to my packed bags. Alexander steps inside anyway, his expensive suit somehow making him look more dangerous than usual. "It's about Neuromax." My stomach drops. "What about it?" "My family." He pauses, jaw clenching. "They've been tampering with the formula, adding compounds to make it addictive." "They what?" The room spins as implications hit me. "How long?" "Since Kevin gained control of the formula." I sink into my leather chair, my legs suddenly unable to hold me. "Since Kevin got the formula? He's working for your organization?" Alexander adjusts his platinum cufflinks, a habit I've noticed when he's delivering bad news. "Kevin's been our inside man for years. We needed someone with legal expertise to handle delicate matters. And the formula tampering? What's the end game here?" My voice sounds hollow even to my own ears. He moves to my bar, helping himself to my best scotch. "Simple economics, Jacob. Create dependency, control the market. Once patients need Neuromax, they'll pay anything for it." Jesus Christ. I run my hands through my hair. That's why Kevin manipulated Nyla? To get control of the formula? She was an unexpected variable. Alexander takes a slow sip. "Originally, we planned to acquire it through other means. But when she inherited Marcus's rights," he shrugs. "Kevin saw an opportunity. And Nyla's grandfather, all those patients showing symptoms." "Test subjects," Alexander says flatly. "We needed to measure addiction rates, withdrawal symptoms." Son of a bitch. I slam my fist against the wall. "People are dying, Alexander. Nyla's grandfather." "I know." He holds up his hands. "That's why I'm telling you now. I tried to stop them, but..." "Tried?" I advance on him, fury burning through my veins. "You knew about this and let it happen?" "It's complicated, Jacob. You know how they operate." "No, it's really simple. You helped poison innocent people." I run my hand through my hair, studying Alexander's face for any sign of deception. "You expect me to believe you had no part in this?" "Jacob," Alexander spreads his hands, his platinum cufflinks catching the morning light. I've been trying to clean up my family's operations, not make them worse. The moment I discovered what they were doing with Neuromax, I came straight to you. Why now? I paced the room, my packed suitcase a reminder of the life with Nyla I'm supposed to be starting. Why not when people first started getting sick? Alexander adjusts his tie, a rare tell of discomfort. These things take time. Gathering evidence, building a case that won't get thrown out. Well, people die. My voice rises sharply. Keep your voice down, he hisses. The walls have ears, even here. Look, I'm handling it, but you need to stay clear of this mess. Like hell I will. Well, that's my hospital, my reputation. And your life, Alexander cuts in. The people behind this won't hesitate to activate that poison in your system if you interfere. The reminder of my own vulnerability hits like a punch to the gut. So what? I just sit back and watch? For now, yes. Alexander's expression softens slightly. Let me deal with my family. I give you my word. I'll make this right. I study him for a long moment. If anything happens to Nyla's grandfather, I understand. He straightens his jacket. But stay out of it, Jacob. I mean it. Fine, I concede reluctantly. But if I see things getting worse, all bets are off. Alexander nods once, sharply. Fair enough. He heads for the door, then pauses. Jacob, watch your back. After Alexander leaves, I sink onto the edge of my bed, his words echoing in my head. The suitcase beside me represents everything I want. Freedom, love, a fresh start with Nyla. But now this bombshell about Neuromax threatens to derail it all. Damn it, I mutter, pulling out my phone to check for messages from Nyla. Nothing yet. I pace the room, my footsteps echoing off the marble floors. The penthouse suddenly feels like a gilded cage. Every luxury item, every expensive piece of art reminds me of the corruption that paid for it. We're getting out, I tell myself firmly. No matter what. The city sprawls below my window, a maze of possibilities and escape routes. Somewhere out there, Nyla is handling her own business, probably as eager as I am to start our new life. The thought of her steadies me. My phone buzzes. Text from Derek about hospital business. I ignore it. That life is over. Let them deal with their own mess. The silence that follows feels like freedom. I look at my packed bags again, remembering Nyla's smile this morning. Nothing else matters. Not Alexander's warnings, not the board's demands, not even the poison they could activate in my system. We'll figure it out together, far from here. Start fresh somewhere they can't touch us. Build something real, something honest. The thought brings a smile to my face despite everything. Let them have their corrupt empire. I choose Nyla.
Chapter 200. Kevin. I watch Nyla through the small window in the door, my gut churning with an unfamiliar sensation. Guilt. She sits in the corner of the holding room, her head held high despite everything I've done to her. That's what I've always admired about her, that unbreakable spirit. Screw it, I mutter, unlocking the door. She doesn't flinch as I enter, just fixes me with those piercing eyes. Come to gloat some more? Her voice is steady, controlled. I lean against the wall, loosening my tie. Actually, I came to explain. Explain how you stole everything from me? How you betrayed my trust? She laughs bitterly. Save it. I took advantage of you, I admit, the words tasting like ash in my mouth. Getting you drunk, having you sign that power of attorney. It was calculated. Business. Her eyes narrow. Business? That's what you call drugging someone and stealing their life savings? I didn't drug you, I protest, then catch myself. But yes, I deliberately got you intoxicated to secure your signature. The agreement was legally binding, even if the method was questionable. You're a real piece of work, Kevin. She shakes her head. I trusted you. I know. I run a hand through my hair. But in this world, trust is a liability. Everything I did was necessary for the bigger picture. The bigger picture? She stands now, anger radiating off her. What could possibly justify what you did to me? Some things are bigger than us, Nyla. Bigger than whatever we had. I meet her gaze. I'm not proud of how I handled it, but I'd do it again. Nyla's eyes flash with a dangerous intensity. So everything between us was just an elaborate con? All those nights, those conversations, those... She trails off, her voice catching. I adjust my cufflinks, buying time. Not everything was fake, Nyla. I did care for you. Did? She steps closer, her perfume still intoxicating. Past tense, just like my bank account? Look, this isn't personal. Yeah, right. She slams her hand against the wall beside me. You slept with me, made me fall for you, all while plotting to steal everything I had. How is that not personal? I maintain my composure, though her proximity makes my pulse quicken. You're out of your depth here, Nyla. There are things at play you couldn't possibly understand. Try me. Her eyes narrow. What kind of operation are you really running here? The kind that's better left unexplained. I step away, creating distance. For your own safety. She lets out a bitter laugh. And Anastasia. Was she in on it too? Anastasia. I pause, knowing this will hurt her most. She's actually my girlfriend, has been for years. The color drains from Nyla's face. Your girlfriend? All those shopping trips, those late-night conversations. Were carefully orchestrated, yes. I straighten my tie. We needed you to trust us completely. You're both monsters, she spits out. Let me go, Kevin. Now. It wasn't personal, I say softly, as if that helps. Nyla's laugh cuts through the tension, sharp and bitter. You know what's pathetic, Kevin? Not you conning me, not even Anastasia playing her part. It's me. I raise an eyebrow, caught off guard by her shift in tone. I actually believed someone like you could care about me. She shakes her head, pacing the small room. A nurse from Queens. What a joke. I was so desperate to belong in your world that I ignored every red flag. Nyla. No, let me finish. Her eyes lock onto mine, blazing. I let you wine and dine me, thinking I was special. That maybe the great Kevin Shaw saw something in me worth loving. But really? She gestures around the room. I was just another mark. My jaw tightens. It wasn't like that. Oh, it was exactly like that, and I played right into it. She runs a hand through her hair, laughing again. God, I even defended you to my parents, to my friends. Everyone saw through you except me. The truth in her words stings more than I expect. You know what's funny? She steps closer, her voice dropping. For all your Harvard education and fancy suits, you're still just that insecure little boy trying to prove himself to Daddy's law firm. At least I know who I am. My composure cracks. The words hit too close to home, exposing nerves I thought I'd buried. Without a word, I unlock the door and step aside. Get out, I say through gritted teeth, before I change my mind. She eyes me suspiciously, her body tense like a coiled spring. Just like that? Just like that. I adjust my tie, a nervous habit I've never quite shaken. You've suffered enough for one lifetime, wouldn't you say? She moves toward the door, but I catch her arm. Not roughly, but firmly enough to make her pause. However, let me be crystal clear about something. Let go of me, Kevin. Her voice carries a warning edge. I release her arm, but step closer, lowering my voice. If you continue digging into things that don't concern you, if you keep poking around where you're not wanted, well, let's just say what happened to your bank account will seem like a minor inconvenience. Nyla lifts her chin, defiant even now. Are you threatening me? I'm giving you sound legal advice. Pro bono, even. I smile, but it doesn't reach my eyes. Some secrets are meant to stay buried, Nyla. For everyone's sake. You don't scare me, she says, though I notice the slight tremor in her hands. No? I lean in closer, my lips near her ear. Then you're not as smart as I thought you were. She pulls back, her eyes blazing. Go to hell, Kevin. I'm already there, sweetheart. I gesture to the open door. Now run along, and remember what I said.
You won't know what hit you, baby. I'm going to take you, break you, and make you mine. And when I'm done, you're...
Now hold on just a minute.
What?
I got something to say.
What's the meaning of this?
Now you may be some fine-looking white boy,
Got that right, baby. It takes hard work.
and you might got the money,
Fat stacks, baby, to spoil you with.
but that doesn't mean I'm going to give it up to you without a fight.
A fight?
You want some limp wilting flowers? Go to historical romance, baby. But you want sassy and spicy strong black queens that tame their alpha male bad boys?
I think our listeners do.
Then you go on and look at Miss Tyla's Bougie Brides and Billionaires audio bundle.
50 hours of me whispering the most romantic things in your ears. Fake marriages, alpha male billionaires, strong black women, steamy scenes that will make your eyes roll back. And everything wrapped up in a happily ever after that will put you in an afterglow.
Use code SAVE40 to get 40% off this bundle and any other digital product in Miss Tyla's store.
Unabridged and uncut.
Just like you,
You're gonna have to find out.
Tyla Walker Romances. Escape your life with sassy romance.
Chapter 201, Jacob. I shove another handful of shirts into my suitcase, not caring if they wrinkle. My phone buzzes, Mother's name flashing on the screen. Perfect timing, as always. What do you want? I snap, wedging the phone between my ear and shoulder as I continue packing. How dare you? Hilda's voice drips with venom. I heard about your little rendezvous with that nurse at the plaza. Have you completely lost your mind? Her name is Nyla, and yes, I spent the night with her. Because I love her. I zip the suitcase with more force than necessary. Deal with it. Love? She scoffs. You don't know the meaning of the word. This girl has manipulated you from day one. That's rich coming from you. I move to the closet, grabbing another bag. You've been manipulating me my entire life. Everything I've done has been for your own good, for this family's good. Well, I'm done with your version of good. Nyla and I are leaving. Together. Oh, really? Her tone turns dangerous. And where exactly do you think you'll go where I can't reach you? Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. Don't be naive, Jacob. I have connections everywhere. Eyes and ears in places you couldn't imagine. I laugh, the sound harsh even to my own ears. Go ahead, Mother. Try your worst. Track us down, sabotage our plans, whatever makes you feel better, but you can't stop this. Watch me. The threat in her voice is clear. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Neither do you. I'm not your puppet anymore. I hang up, tossing the phone onto the bed. Let her plot and scheme. For once in my life, I'm choosing my own path, and that path leads to Nyla. I refresh my email again, scanning Derek's latest update about the Neuromax situation. My leg bounces with nervous energy as I sit in the, waiting for Nyla to return. All patients stable for now, Derek's message reads. Dr. Paddle monitoring closely. Alexander's intel about the formula tampering helped isolate the issue. I run a hand through my hair, exhaling slowly. At least the immediate crisis seems contained. My phone buzzes with a follow-up text from Derek. Cornelius showing improvement since stopping the modified doses, but Patel says we're not out of the woods yet. Need long-term solution. Keep me posted, I type back. And thanks for handling this. That's what best men are for, he replies, even when the wedding gets called off. I crack a smile despite my worry. Very funny. Just focus on keeping those patients stable. Will do, boss. BTW, your mother's been calling me non-stop. Want me to keep dodging her? Please, I can't deal with her right now. Roger that. Radio silence it is. I check my watch again. Nyla's been gone longer than expected. The suite feels too quiet, too empty without her here. I stand and pace to the window, watching the city bustle below while waiting for any word from her. Everything's packed and ready for us to leave, to start fresh somewhere new. But first, we need to make sure her grandfather and the other patients are truly safe. I won't let Alexander's family's greed destroy more lives with their tainted formula. My phone lights up again. Another email from Dr. Patel with patient updates. I scan the charts anxiously, praying the seizures don't return. For now, everyone seems stable. But like Derek said, we need a permanent fix, not just a temporary band-aid. I hit Nyla's number again, drumming my fingers against the desk as it rings. Straight to voicemail. Again. Come on, pick up, I mutter, ending the call. She needs to know what Alexander told me about the formula tampering, about his family's involvement. But the penthouse feels like it's closing in on me, the elegant furnishings now prison bars of gilded wealth. I can't stay here, surrounded by all these lies and manipulation. My family's legacy of secrets threatens to suffocate me. I grab my jacket, ready to head out and find Nyla myself. That's when my phone buzzes. Finally, relief floods through me as I reach for it, but the message freezes my blood. I think there is going to be a full moon tonight. The code phrase. The poison trigger. Pain explodes in my chest like molten lead. My vision blurs, the room tilting sideways. My legs buckle and I crash to the floor, phone clattering away across the hardwood. No! I gasp, clutching my chest. The toxin burns through my veins like liquid fire. I try to crawl toward my phone, but my arms won't cooperate. Black spots dance at the edges of my vision. Every breath is agony. All this time I'd been nothing but a pawn, a disposable piece in their twisted game of power and greed. As consciousness slips away, one thought pierces through the pain. I never got to tell Nyla the truth about any of it. The darkness creeps in from the edges of my vision, a suffocating veil drawing tighter with each labored breath. My fingers scrape against the hardwood floor, desperately trying to reach my phone, but it might as well be miles away. Nyla! I gasp, her name a prayer on my lips. The poison courses through my veins like liquid fire, each heartbeat sending fresh waves of agony through my chest. I failed her. God, I failed her completely. My mother's web of manipulation stretches far beyond what I'd imagined, and now Nyla's caught in it too. The thought of her walking into whatever trap they've set makes me fight harder against the encroaching darkness. My body betrays me, muscles seizing as another convulsion hits. The ceiling spins above me, the elegant crown molding blurring into abstract patterns. Each breath comes shorter than the last. I'm sorry, I whisper to the empty penthouse. Sorry for not telling her everything. Sorry for thinking I could protect her while keeping her in the dark. Sorry for believing we could simply run away from all this. The darkness presses closer, heavy and absolute. My limbs feel like lead, refusing to respond. The pain in my chest intensifies until it's all-consuming, drowning out even my thoughts of Nyla. One last ragged gasp escapes me before consciousness slips away entirely, leaving me trapped in a void of my own making. The silence swallows me whole, and I surrender to the suffocating black.
Chapter 202. Nyla. I stumble out of the warehouse, my legs shaking beneath me. The cool night air does nothing to calm my racing thoughts. Kevin's words echo in my head, each revelation like a fresh slap to the face. He and Anastasia were playing me all along. Get it together, Nyla, I muttered to myself, fumbling with my car keys. They slipped from my trembling fingers, clattering on the asphalt. Damn it. As I bend to retrieve them, the reality of everything crashes over me. Kevin's involvement in something criminal, Anastasia's betrayal, the missing money. And Marcus, still no answers about whether he's alive. My phone buzzes. It's Kyra, but I can't deal with her right now. I need Jacob. He's the only one I can trust, the only constant in this swirling chaos. The drive feels endless. My knuckles whiten on the steering wheel as I navigate through Manhattan's late-night traffic. Every red light is an eternity, every block a marathon. Finally, I reach Jacob's building. The doorman barely has time to nod before I'm rushing past him to the elevator. My heart pounds against my ribs, a desperate rhythm matching the ascending floor numbers. "Jacob?" I call out, bursting through his door. "Jacob, you won't believe what—" The words die in my throat. Jacob lies crumpled on the floor, his body convulsing violently. His face is contorted in agony, skin ashen and slick with sweat. No. I drop to my knees beside him, nurse mode, kicking in automatically. "Jacob, can you hear me?" His eyes roll back, another spasm racking his body. My fingers find his pulse, rapid and thready. Too fast. "Stay with me," I plead, already reaching for my phone to call 911. "Please, Jacob, don't you dare leave me now." Panic seizes me as I drop to my knees beside Jacob's convulsing body. "Jacob!" My voice cracks with terror. What happened? His skin feels clammy under my touch, his breathing coming in shallow gasps. His eyes barely flicker with recognition as they meet mine. Kevin's warning echoes in my head. "There will be consequences for your snooping." The guilt crushes my chest like a vice. This is my fault. My reckless investigation led to this. With trembling fingers, I pull out my phone and dial for help. My fingers shake as I dial, but my voice stays steady. Years of emergency room experience kick in. "This is Nurse Thomas from Stone Hospital. I need a private ambulance at 432 Park Avenue. Penthouse level. Patient is Jacob Stone. City EMS can be there in—" "No." I cut them off sharply. "Private transport only, direct to Stone Hospital. Authorization code 7749-alpha. The code reserved for VIP patients rings foreign on my tongue, but I won't risk Jacob disappearing again. Jacob's body tenses with another spasm. I cradle his head in my lap, preventing him from hitting the floor. Hurry, male, mid-30s, experiencing severe convulsions and respiratory distress. Copy that. Elite Medical Transport dispatched, ETA 8 minutes. Make it 5. I end the call, focusing on Jacob. His skin burns beneath my fingers as I check his pulse again. "Stay with me, baby. Help is coming." I fumble with my phone again, dialing doctor. Patel's direct line. "Clear the VIP wing," I order as soon as he answers. "Jacob Stone is incoming. I want a full tox screen and cardiac workup ready. And Dr. Patel, no one touches him except you and me." "Understood. I'll handle it personally." I hang up, trying to remember to breathe. "They're coming, baby," I whisper, gently lifting Jacob's head onto my lap. His body continues to shake with small tremors. "Just hold on for me." Tears stream down my face, dripping onto his forehead. "I'm so sorry. This is all my fault." I stroke his D. "Stay with me," I plead, my voice breaking. "We were so close, Jacob. Don't let them take you from me now." His hand weakly squeezes mine in response, but his eyes are starting to glaze over. "The paramedics are coming," I assure him, though my heart races with fear that they won't arrive in time. "Just keep breathing. Please, just keep breathing for me." Through my tears, I spot Jacob's packed bags by the door. The sight hits me like a physical blow. Just hours ago, we were planning our escape, our chance at real happiness away from all this darkness. Now he's fighting for his life on his own floor. We can still make it to Vegas, I whisper, still cradling his head. My fingers trace his jawline, memorizing every detail of his face. Jacob's eyelids flutter, a weak groan escaping his lips. I grab his half-packed duffel bag, rifling through it desperately for any clue about what happened. The Louis Vuitton suitcase lies open nearby, clothes spilling out like he was interrupted mid-pack. Passport, tickets, hotel confirmations, all the pieces of our planned future scattered across the floor. We're going to figure this out, I promise him, though my voice shakes, and then we're getting on that plane together, you hear me? I don't care what it takes. His fingers twitch in response, seeking mine. I grasp his hand tightly as another convulsion rocks through him. The sound of approaching sirens fills the air. Help is almost here. But as I look at our abandoned escape plan strewn across the floor, I know this is just the beginning of our fight. Chapter 2, 103. Nyla. The ambulance screeches to a halt at the private entrance, the sirens cutting off mid-wail. Through the back windows, I spot Dr. Patel already rushing toward us, his white coat billowing behind him. What happened? He demands as the doors swing open. Found him convulsing in his apartment, I say, jumping down from the ambulance. Pulse is erratic, breathing shallow. He's been in and out of consciousness. Jacob's stretcher emerges, his skin ashen under the harsh hospital lights. My heart clenches seeing him so vulnerable, so unlike his usual commanding presence. Get him to the secure wing, Dr. Patel orders, falling into step beside the gurney. His fingers press against Jacob's wrist, counting. Blood pressure's dropping. Start an IV line, wide open. Already done, I say, holding up the bag of fluids. O2 stats are hovering around 89. Dr. Patel's brow furrows as we rush through the corridors. This presentation, it's not typical, almost like he's been poisoned. The words taste bitter on my tongue. He shoots me a sharp look but doesn't deny it. We need to run a full tox screen. Get me. Already called ahead. The lab standing by. A ghost of a smile crosses his face. Once a nurse, always a nurse. We burst through the double doors of the secure wing. The sight of the medical team waiting with crash carts and monitors should reassure me. Instead, rage builds in my chest, hot and unstoppable. Someone did this to Jacob. Someone tried to take him from me, and I'm not going to stand by and let them succeed. Dr. Patel, I say, my voice steel-edged. Keep him safe. I'll be back. He nods, understanding in his eyes. Go. Do what you need to do. We've got him. I squeeze Jacob's hand one last time before they wheel him away. Fight for me, baby, I whisper. Then I turn on my heel, fury propelling me forward. They want to play with poison? Fine. Let's see how they handle a dose of their own medicine. I storm through the hospital corridors, my heels clicking against the polished floor like a countdown to confrontation. My mind races with images of Jacob convulsing on that floor, of the poison someone slipped into his system. The rage building inside me threatens to explode. Hilda's office door looms ahead. Without hesitation, I burst through, not bothering to knock. She sits behind her massive mahogany desk, perfectly composed as always, like a queen on her throne. Where is Marcus? I demand, my voice sharp enough to cut glass. Hilda barely glances up from her paperwork. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me. I slam my palms on her desk, making her precious fountain pen jump. I heard you on the phone with him, the same Marcus who's supposed to be dead, the same Marcus who might know why your son is fighting for his life right now. That gets her attention. Her head snaps up, eyes narrowing. What happened to Jacob? Like you don't know. I lean closer, studying her face for any flicker of guilt. Someone has poisoned him. You're being ridiculous. Am I? Then explain why I overheard you talking to a dead man about Jacob visiting the warehouse. My voice rises with each word. Your son is dying, Hilda. Right now, in this hospital, and you're going to tell me everything you know about it. Hilda's fingers grip the edge of her desk. For the first time, I see a crack in her aristocratic facade. You don't understand what you're dealing with. Then make me understand, because I'm not leaving until I get answers. I study Hilda's face. For the first time since I've known her, I see genuine fear in her eyes. The perfectly coiffed matriarch who's made my life hell is actually trembling. Forces beyond your control? I repeat, my voice barely above a whisper. What does that mean, Hilda? She glances at the door, then back at me. You think you know what you're dealing with, but you don't. None of us did. Not until it was too late. Then explain it to me. I grip the edge of her desk harder, my knuckles turning white. Your son is fighting for his life right now. Whatever game you're playing. This isn't a game, Hilda snaps, her composure finally shattering. Do you think I want this? Do you think I want my only son? She breaks off, pressing her perfectly manicured hand to her mouth. The sight of her vulnerability sends a chill down my spine. This is the woman who's faced down corporate raiders and hostile takeovers without breaking a sweat. Yet here she sits, looking as lost as I feel. My dear, she says, her voice softening with an unfamiliar tenderness. There are things happening that would terrify you if you knew. Things that make our petty feuds seem like child's play. I sink into the chair across from her, my legs suddenly weak. What have I gotten myself into? Hilda's laugh is hollow. The same thing we all did. A web we can't escape. She reaches for her crystal decanter of bourbon, hands shaking as she pours 2 fingers. The question is, are you prepared for what comes next? Looking at her now, I realize with growing dread that I've stumbled into something far darker than family drama or corporate politics. The real battle is just beginning, and I'm not sure any of us are ready for it. Hilda rises from her chair, gathering her Hermes bag. The sharp clip of her heels against the marble floor echoes through the office as she heads for the door. And where do you think you're going? I ask, my voice steady despite the anger bubbling beneath. She turns, her perfectly lined lips curling into a smirk. To see my son, of course. Good luck with that. He's in the secure wing. Please. She waves her hand dismissively. I own this hospital. They'll let me in. I step between her and the door, crossing my arms. Maybe, or maybe if you give us some actual answers about what's going on, we'll see about getting you access. You dare to threaten me? Her eyes narrow dangerously. In my own hospital? Your hospital? I let out a sharp laugh. The same one that's producing tainted drugs? The same one where your son just got poisoned? Yeah, great job running things, Hilda. She flinches at the mention of Jacob, her designer bag clutched tighter against her chest. You have no right. I have every right. Jacob is fighting for his life in there, and you're standing here playing power games instead of telling me what you know about Marcus. The name hits her like a physical blow. She takes a step back, her perfectly maintained facade cracking just slightly. You don't understand what you're asking. I don't care. You better start talking because right now you're not going anywhere near Jacob until I get some answers. This is it, baby. This is what you can get me that'll make me happy.
You know I'll get you whatever you want. All you need to do is ask me and I'll give it to you.
This ain't just it. This is everything I could ever want.
Now I'm curious. What does a strong, sassy woman like yourself want so badly?
Baby, you know what I want?
Can't wait to hear.
The Big Baddie Bundle from Tyla Walker. It has everything I need.
20 ebooks with over 1 million words of sassy romance and spice that'll keep you on your toes.
10 audiobooks containing over 60 hours of that seductive voice telling me naughty things all night long.
You don't need an audiobook for that, baby. Right here.
You may be fine and all, but no one tells it like the way Miss Tyla does. And I need her in my life.
The Big Baddie Bundle is everything you need. You can get it for 80% off.
Go to TylaWalker.com to browse the bundles that earn you the best deals.
It's time you treat yourself. Because you deserve it.
Escape your life with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 204. Trixa. I lounge on the plush velvet couch in my Brooklyn hideout, savoring the sweet taste of victory. The penthouse may not be my usual Upper East Side digs, but it serves its purpose, keeping me far from prying eyes while I execute the final phase of my plan. Oh, Jacob, I muse, running my fingers over the stolen Neuromax data. You always did underestimate me. My phone buzzes. Another concerned text from Mother, asking how my treatment is going. I smirk, deleting it without response. Let them all think I'm withering away in some Swiss clinic. The truth is far more delicious. Time to shake things up, I murmur, pulling up the number for that ambitious young reporter at the Post. The one who's been sniffing around Stone Hospital Group for months. My supposedly terminal cancer provided the perfect cover to vanish, to make my move while they were distracted by grief and guilt. Now, with the real Neuromax data in my possession, I'm ready to expose everything. Caroline? Trixa Swan here. I purr into the phone. Remember that expose you've been trying to write about Stone Hospital Group? I have something that might interest you. I stretch out on the couch, admiring the Manhattan skyline through floor-to-ceiling windows. How about an exclusive on the biggest medical scandal of the decade? Trust me, what I'm about to tell you will make your career. The reporter's eager response makes me smile. Everything is falling perfectly into place. By this time tomorrow, the empire my family built will crumble, and from its ashes, I'll build something new, something entirely mine. Shall we talk? I have quite a story to tell you, I say, already imagining tomorrow's headlines. And Caroline? Start your recorder. You'll want proof of every word. For 3 hours, I've detailed every sordid aspect of the Stone Hospital Group's corruption. The fraudulent trials, the manipulated data, the backroom deals, everything. Caroline's eyes are wide with excitement. This is incredible, Ms. Swan. The implications alone. We'll destroy them, I finish, a satisfied smile playing on my lips. As they deserve. One last question, she says. Why come forward now? I take a slow sip of water, savoring the moment. Because sometimes the only way to heal something is to burn it down and start fresh. The door behind me opens with a soft click. I don't need to turn around to know who it is. I'd recognize those measured footsteps anywhere. Well done, princess, Marcus says, his voice carrying that familiar blend of pride and calculation. I reach up and pat his hand, feeling like that little girl who used to sit in his office, learning the art of corporate warfare at Daddy's knee. The story's told. Everything's in motion. Good girl, he says, squeezing my shoulder. Now let's watch it all unfold. By tomorrow morning, Stone Hospital Group's reputation will be in tatters. I pull out my phone, showing him the preliminary article draft. The best part? Everyone thinks I'm dying in Switzerland. No one will suspect me. Marcus remains silent, studying the documents with that calculating look I know so well. I lean closer, lowering my voice conspiratorially. You know, Daddy, Nyla may be your flesh and blood, but she lacks our vision, our understanding of what real power means. I straighten up, smoothing my skirt. She's still playing nurse while I'm orchestrating the downfall of an empire. Funny how biology doesn't guarantee loyalty, isn't it? I move to the window, gazing out at the Manhattan skyline glittering in the distance. I've always been your true daughter, haven't I? The one who really understands the game we play. I turn back to face him, my smile sharp and knowing. Blood means nothing compared to ambition. I lean back in my chair, a satisfied smirk playing across my face. Let Nyla have Jacob. I've got bigger plans than being someone's trophy wife. You should see your face right now, Marcus says, pouring us both a celebratory scotch. Like a cat who got the cream. More like a swan who clipped some wings, I reply, accepting the crystal tumbler. To new beginnings. The amber liquid burns pleasantly as I savor my triumph. The stone empire will crumble by morning, and from its ashes I'll build something greater. Something truly mine. You know, Daddy, I almost feel bad for them. I swirl the scotch, watching it catch the light. Almost. Marcus raises an eyebrow. Having second thoughts? Please. I wave dismissively. Jacob made his choice. If he wants to play house with his little nurse, let him. I've got an empire to build. But even as the words leave my mouth, something twinges in my chest. A tiny voice wondering if I've gone too far, pushed too hard. I silence it with another sip of scotch. You did what needed to be done, Marcus says, reading my expression. Sometimes you have to burn it all down to build something better. True. I stand, walking to the window. The city stretches before me, a glittering canvas of possibilities. But I can't help wondering about the collateral damage, the patients, the staff. Since when do you care about casualties? I turn back to him, squaring my shoulders. I don't. I want to be sure this victory is worth its price. Having a conscience now? Marcus asks, his tone sharp. That's not the daughter I raised. No, I say firmly, pushing down my doubts. That's not who I am at all. Stone Hospital Group believes only the rich should survive.
When loyalty shatters, the only path left is war.
This drug isn't ready for release.
You love him despite everything, Nyla. You can't keep denying it.
The war for control has begun.
You don't actually have any say in this matter anymore, dear sister.
Your rivalry is a liability, but I can leverage that fire if I make you compete.
Because love has no place in war.
No, Nyla, I can't. What about him being part of the Sokolov crime family? You know, the ones who did this to Jacob?
It's about Jacob. Right before it happened, he contacted me, had me get his affairs in order.
Death has its advantages.
When betrayal comes at full speed, no one walks away unscathed.
There's a lot you don't know about me.
You still loved me? This whole time?
My own flesh and blood, destroying everything I've built.
The choice is simple. The formula, or the one thing you love, crumbles into dust.
Because this time, not everyone will survive.